One of these fragrances that we're going to be talking about today might just become your next favorite signature scent everyday wear. All of these have that ability to be that everyday wear type of scent that you can throw on anytime, any place, for any situation as well. Now, while you might have a few of these that might favor one season or another as far as the personality of the scent itself and how it smells and just kind of the season that it reminds you of, it could still work pretty much every other time as well. So they're all just very wearable. And it almost seems like with the way that we're going with a lot of the new trends and stuff, that's becoming less and less common as we're getting sweeter and sweeter and really kind of going down that rabbit hole. A lot of those aren't really the best for summer wear. Therefore, they're not really the best for all year round wear. But these are, so that's what we're going to talk about. This first one is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau Paradise Garden. First things first, I mean, this presentation is beautiful. It's all in the fragrance itself, the coloration of the liquid. The bottle's completely just clear, plain glass. So, you know, the more you use this, the less vibrant and cool it looks. But yeah, I do love that kind of emerald green color. I think that's a key selling point for this stuff. And they usually do use a lot of colorant in their scents. Le Beau Le Parfum has a lot of it as well. You know, Flower Edition does too, but this one's probably the best looking one. It's got coconut, watery notes, mint, fig, some tonka bean. This is a nice kind of green, fresher take on the original and the Le Parfum, because while those are kind of summery, they're pretty sweet as well. Now this one still does have a bit of a sweetness, but not as much. Again, kind of a bit of a fresher, greener take. And while I would say that this is probably just really, really suitable for spring and summer wear, there's no reason that you couldn't wear it in fall and winter as well if you wanted it to. The reason why, again, is kind of because it has that hybrid thing going on. It's a little bit green and watery, kind of alluding to a spring-summer smell, but then it has kind of a tonka bean slight sweetness as well, which would help it hold up in the cooler times of the year. It'll just do about everything really well. I do want to give it a spray. I just want to smell it again. I mean, it's really, really nice. And I'm usually not a big fan of fig. It's actually generally one of my least favorite notes. However, it's used to perfection here. Basically, it's not used in an overabundance, you know, and it's blended in well with everything else in the scent to where it doesn't stick out in a way where I would dislike it. But I have smelled quite a few fig-based fragrances that I don't like just because it is too strong. But that's not the case here for me with this one. This next one is going to be Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense. This one's got vanilla, lavender, and vetiver. And I mean, those three notes there kind of paints the picture for you. A nice sweet vanilla, a fresh aromatic lavender, and then a kind of a clean, woody vetiver note. So you're getting some freshness, some woodiness, a bit of a sweetness, kind of providing you with the ability to wear this one anytime. And this is actually a scent where I don't really have a preferred season and nothing jumps out at me saying, hey, this is a winter scent or this is a fall scent or spring or whatever. It's kind of just smells like a good scent that you could wear whenever, basically. And I feel like that's not as common as we talked about earlier. Typically things will jump out at you as either being a spring scent or whatever, but not the case here. I think this could be used for anything, and not only that, but in a variety of situations as well. I probably wouldn't wear this one for super formal events, but everything else, more so casual leaning, I think it would work great. And I've said this before, but I really enjoy this one a lot. And some of these Born in Romas, they haven't been the best, at least in terms of being something that I reach for, that I think about and actually, you know, want to wear and go out of my way to wear instead of grabbing something else. And this is one where I do reach for it more than I thought I ever would. Cool bottle as well. You guys know how these are, but it's got a nice gradient. Doesn't show up as well on camera, but down here it's kind of a reddish color, and then it goes up to kind of essentially black towards the top. Cool looking presentation, great scent, decent performance as well. Can be used for anything. This next one is Coach for Men Eau de Parfum. It's a brand new release. You can see you got that gold accent there on the tag. This is another kind of hit or miss for me, or at least that's what it was in my mind going into it. And of course, full retail was the only option, and I'm thinking, you know, I just don't have a lot of motivation to buy this right now, especially when it's kind of pricey and there's a lot of other new releases that I could be buying as well. For some reason, I just thought, I'm going to go for it. Let's see if it's any good or not, because I do like the Coach for Men's. The original is okay. Coach Platinum is really good. Coach Green is really good. Coach Blue was a little bit more boring, but I thought, maybe there's going to be a good chance. I got this in, and it far exceeded my expectations to the point where I was actually really impressed. Woody, spicy, masculine, and leathery. This is going against the grain, and that's what I like about it. I think that's one of the things that has drawn me into this compared to a lot of other new releases is it's not overly sweet. It's not bubblegummy. It's not focused heavily on tonka bean and chestnut and just those usual tropes that we're used to these days. It's just a little bit more of a, not necessarily old school style masculine, although I guess you could consider it that way because we're just not really getting scents like this that often anymore. And also it is quite a bit different than the original and Coach Platinum and basically all of the others. There really isn't a Sauvage smell to this, and the original Coach does kind of carry a Sauvage inspiration. So I find this to be a really nice, well done, polished release that takes you a step away from a lot of the others so you're not getting redundant. It just gives you something a bit different to experience compared to a lot of other new scents out there. I think this could work for any situation, casual and even some formal situations as well. Let's go for good old Artisan Pure by John Varvatos. This could easily be a signature scent. Now, I think we all know the preferable season for this, and it's got to be spring. It smells like spring, everything greening up and just nice weather on the horizon after a long, cold, dark winter. You get that orange, the pettigrain, the neroli, all of that going on in here with some other citrus as well, but key focus on orange. It's bright, it's uplifting, it just puts you in a good mood. It smells like you're out in the garden, it's just kind of what it reminds me of for some reason. And so, yeah, spring is definitely the time of year for this, which we're in right now, but you could easily wear it into summer as well. No problems there. It definitely wouldn't smell out of place. It's still fresh and uplifting and bright. But to that note, you could wear this into fall and winter as well. Now, when you get into really, really cold winter, if you live somewhere where it does get cold, this will struggle to keep up. It doesn't quite have the added sweetness and the depth and the performance to really push through on those cold days. But indoors, more mild winter, there's no reason you couldn't wear this. It's less likely to smell out of place wearing a more fresher scent in winter, but it's more likely to smell out of place if you're wearing, like a Spice Bomb Extreme in the dead of summer or something. They don't really collaborate as well, winter scents in summertime versus summer scents in winter. So you can get away with this one pretty much anytime. Kind of following a similar trend with Brioni Eau de Parfum Eclat. So this is, at least currently, their freshest scent in the line. And what I love about this is it's still an eau de parfum. So a lot of times these brands, they'll kind of release their eau fresh or their summer version, which you can always blatantly tell by the bottle. You can see the frosted glass here, so they'll typically do something like that. But then they'll make it an eau de toilette or something, or maybe even an eau de cologne. Rarely, but mostly an eau de toilette. They'll downgrade it. They didn't do that here. The whole line so far has been eau de parfum, and they kept that with this. I think that's a nice little touch. Maybe not everybody would notice that and really appreciate it, but I do, because they could have easily made it an eau de toilette, but they didn't. This one has grapefruit, musk, ambroxan, and actually a little bit of rose. Not too strong, not overpowering at all, but it's a really nice, light, mild, not overly sweet rose. More of a fresher, more aromatic type of rose floral here. Again, to double down on it, very mild, but it complements everything else perfectly here. Musky, citrusy, that ambroxan gives it just a nice little bright sparkle off the opening that kind of trails along into the mid and dry down as well. This is way different than the original and the Intense and Essentiel and Suave. It's different than all of them, but it still does have that Brioni classy smell that you've gotten throughout the entirety of the line. And I really like it. This is actually, it's become one of my favorites. It's simplistic on paper especially, but when you do start to smell this one and wear it and spend some time with it, you realize that there's more than meets the eye, I guess, so to speak, in terms of just you kind of can pick up on all the other little different notes and textures and stuff that are built into this one that you weren't really expecting, especially because this stuff is like $35. I mean, it's basically a cheapie. This is perfect for spring and summer, okay? I think we kind of established that already, but there's no reason why you couldn't wear this one any other time. Even when it's cold out, again, it might struggle sometimes, okay? That's just kind of the price you're gonna pay for trying to do that, but no reason it couldn't work. And I think this stuff will be a great everyday signature scent, and the price is conducive to that as well. I mean, you can burn through this stuff quickly, spray it on heavily, and not really feel bad because you don't have to pay a ton of money for it. Let's go for Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir. This is the Eau de Parfum. I usually talk about the Parfum, but this is a great everyday wear scent as well. This one has musk, vetiver, and cedarwood. Some common notes, you know, you see those notes used a lot, and generally they're used in scents that are highly versatile. I mean, again, they work for anything. This is a soapy, clean, woody, fresh, musky scent. You could use that for any time. I will say this isn't all that exciting to me. I much prefer the Parfum version as far as just enjoyment factor when wearing it. So this doesn't excite me all that much. However, that's not really the point. The point is just kind of going for things that are ultra versatile, decently priced, because we've covered that for the most part here. Everything here has been decently priced so far and will continue to be. So again, not the most exciting for me. I prefer some of the others in here, but I don't want to condemn this by any means. It's still a great scent. Definitely something that if you're into musky, woody scents and you want something a little bit more classy, it's one to check out. Let's go for Ralph's Club Parfum. Okay, running down to the end here. You could go for the Eau de Parfum. You could even go for the newer Eau de Toilette version. The Elixir would be a great one as well, although a little bit more cost prohibitive because it's an elixir. So it's 75 ml, I think, and more expensive, whereas this is a 100 ml, and it's just better bang for your buck, really. Lavender, apple, sage, vetiver, it's a very common smell. This and the original, it's been compared to Y Eau de Parfum, just kind of that style, and I do agree, that style. I don't think that these are a ripoff or a clone of Y Eau de Parfum, but they do fall into a similar category, just kind of that aromatic style, sweet fruitiness going on. Although less sweet fruitiness here with this one, more focused on the aromatics. Nonetheless, still works really well. Alrighty guys, we're gonna finish this video off with a $20 to $25 scent, I believe. It's Pepe Jeans Cocktail. This stuff is great. Worn it and talked about it for years. Love the gradient there. It looks really cool. Nothing crazy, fancy, or exciting. It kind of has like the Valentino Uomo style going on here with the texture. The smell, though, is downright shocking. Just how good it is for the price. Again, 25 bucks or so. And it is a bright, punchy, fruity summer bomb. So yes, more kind of summer oriented, but again, I feel like I'm a broken record here, but it'll work anytime. It's got yuzu, grapefruit, violet leaf. It just has a real nice green, almost minty, punchy, bright pop off the opening that gets your attention immediately. It smells more expensive than what it is, in my opinion anyway. Nothing about it smells cheap or synthetic or anything like that. It actually has quite a bit of quality to it, nice value. Performance is not anything to write home about, but it's decent. It gets the job done. You could spray the crap out of this stuff because it's so affordable, and it's one that I think is definitely worth tossing in your collection. Next time you're shopping, just throw it in your cart for the low price that it is, and you're gonna have something that is gonna be most likely one that shocks you. Because I know for me, I wasn't really looking to get a whole lot out of this one, but after wearing it and testing it, I realized it was actually really solid. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. One of these could be your next signature scent, you never know. Let me know down below, what are some of your favorite everyday wear signature scent fragrances, and I will link all these down below as well if you wanna do some shopping to pick them up. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.